Mhm.
Hyder.
Hey, what's up, Alex?
Man, how you feeling?
Feeling good. That was a dogfight for sure.
How tired were you in that third round?
I was incredibly tired. I was probably the most tired I've ever been.
So talk to me. What was the game plan going in the fight? That first round, everyone's so used to you throwing hands, but you decided to wrestle a little bit.
You know what? Yeah, I wanted to strike a little more. It's just the pacing of everything, and it just kind of got, you just kind of played by ear, and I guess that kind of happened when I pushed him against the wall. I wanted to wrestle a little bit, and he's very sticky. It was hard to gain separation so I could strike. But yeah, we ended up getting a little more grappling exchanges than I'm accustomed to in my fights.
How do you feel about your performance?
You know what? I knew with his style it might have been a grinding kind of fight. Not the performance I wanted. I always I like to finish people. But I'm just glad I got the win. I'm glad I got the UFC contract.
You obviously missed weight yesterday. Were you nervous that the fight might not go through?
I knew it was gonna go through. I knew. They asked if we still wanted to fight. Of course, I wanted to fight. I knew that he lost the first battle, and I knew he was gonna lose the second battle. And especially if it got to a dogfight, I knew I was gonna have the mental edge right there.
You sitting back there waiting for your contract. How nervous were you?
I was very nervous. When you get a split decision like that, wasn't most of my fights is very action packed. I'm usually at least if it's close, we're trading back and forth. I'm landing elbows and knees. Most of my fights are very exciting, and this fight was, if you know MMA, like Dana knows MMA, he can tell that wow, a fight like that pace that and the scrambles, that's a hard, exhausting fight, and it's all about heart and will once a fight like that.
For the casual fan who's never seen you fight before, and then they just see that fight, like, what do you tell them?
I'm gonna finish the next guy, okay? And my next fight, I'm really gonna put on the show, and that's not happening again.
When would you like to return?
I'm healthy. I'm ready to go. Give me a month, 2 months, put me back in there.
Final thing is, like, we talked about it before. Like, there was a point in your career where you were like, you didn't know if you were going to fight again, and then you found Gilbert Melendez, and just how important has he been? And then just kind of you finally made it to the UFC after all the ups and downs.
I've had a lot of road bumps with injuries and things that have taken me from the path, plus COVID, and I was happy to find Gilbert Melendez. Kind of the world just brought me to his gym, and he's the fight commentary for LFA. He did the breakdowns. He has a great mind for MMA. I'm so happy to have him in my corner, and to train me up. And I'm blessed to be under his guidance.
Is there anyone else? Is there anybody that you'd like to fight in your debut?
Give me 1 or 2 fights, and then I want Arnold Allen. I want payback.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations on the contract. I saw you approach Dana there and ask for a picture, and you guys had a little words. What was the interaction like?
It was surreal. For him to say he got goosebumps, that made probably my life, my world, because I've been watching him since I was a kid. Just to be face to face, have a conversation with him, to fight on his show, man, it's surreal. This whole thing almost was like an accident, like MMA and fighting, and somehow it found its way to me, and I just took it and went with it, and here I am now. I'm still undefeated, 8-0. I'm in the UFC, so let's send it.
Would you be able to expand a bit more on that accident? Like, how'd you get into the sport and ultimately end up here?
So I started fighting when I was a kid. I did had my first fight when I was 17. I got into trouble, and so I just did the college thing, tried to go to school and stuff like that. And I got fired from my job and needed to find. I needed to pay rent, and so I sent all these applications. And Gilbert's gym hired me, and I took that as a sign. At the time, I was over 200 pounds, and so I lost all the weight in like 2-3 months. Started fighting. I took it as a sign that maybe it's meant to be to get back into MMA, and that's why I'm saying it's surreal to be here already, like still undefeated in the UFC under the guidance of Gilbert Melendez, you know, and the scrap pack. That's Jake Shields, it's Nate Diaz, it's Nick Diaz, it's Dave Terrell. It's an amazing feeling.
And what a story! Congrats on that. And
Thank you.
putting the focus back on today, what surprised you most about your opponent in there?
It was a dogfight. Honestly, I knew that was gonna happen. I could have done a few more things, like moved my feet a little more, like I was planning. He hung in there longer than I thought he was, but I knew he was gonna break. No one wants it more than me, and I got a lot of heart, and I can push, and I'll keep pushing. And if Dana knows fighting, he knows at least with me, I will never quit. I'm always someone who's gonna keep fighting to the bitter end.
And lastly, you're the newest member of the UFC featherweight division. What's the message you have for the fellow featherweights in your division?
I'm coming.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
You once said almost a year ago, give thanks for what you do have, you'll have more. How do you feel about that now, almost a year later?
Oh my God. I'm thankful for the moment. I'm thankful for everything. I'm in my 30s. I'm doing this. I almost left MMA, but I just gave it another shot with the support of my team and my family. And you know what? I'm here now, and I'm gonna make the most of it. And if you've seen my other fights, I put on a show every fight, and I usually finish people and stuff like that. So going forward, I expect more from me. Expect me to start putting in some shows there and start finishing people.
Take a seat within yourself. You got a lot to look forward to and to watch and to experience.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate you.
Hyder here. Talking about your corner and talking about reflecting on just a year ago, you're always emphatic about your mindset. And being from the Bay Area, what's the mindset moving forward, entering the UFC into the newly featherweight division for you?
In the Bay Area, there's a lot of different little cultures. I grew up in San Rafael, Richmond, Vallejo, Oakland, San Francisco. I was the only person of my own. I'm mixed, like Filipino, Indian, Eurasian, whatever. And I grew up with, only person who wasn't white, only person who wasn't brown, only person who wasn't black. So I got to learn everyone's culture. So I feel like everyone is my people. And when you get all that knowledge and understanding, it makes you a more well-rounded person. So you bring that Bay Area mindset, that Bay Area swag, when you grow up in the Bay Area, you be dancing, you fight, you just do it all over there. And everyone who's really from the Bay, they feel me in that.
I feel you. I'm also from the Bay, so let me end you with this. Let me end you with this. What you gonna go do when you go back?
For the old school Bay Area, we can get hyphy, we're gonna have some fun. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. Congratulations. Thank you.
You the man. Thank you.